Right. Today I'm here to talk about, we had 3 homicides that began last night at approximately 10:45 and continued all the way until about 12:30 a.m. First case I'm going to talk about was around Wednesday, April 24th at approximately 10:45 p.m. 7th District officers responded to the 2300 block of Ainger Place Southeast with a report of sounds of gunshots. When officers arrived, they located a 17-year-old male suffering from multiple gunshot wounds. He was transported to a local area hospital where, unfortunately, he was pronounced deceased. In this case, the decedent was identified as 17-year-old Quentin Brown of Southeast D.C. Next, at approximately 12:08 a.m., 4th District officers responded to the intersection of 10th and Spring Road Northwest. They responded for the sounds of gunshots. When officers arrived, they located 3 victims. First one was an adult male victim who was found suffering from multiple gunshot wounds. And unfortunately, after all life-saving efforts failed, he was pronounced deceased. They then located an adult female and a teenage male who were also suffering from gunshot wounds. They both were transported to local area hospitals, and at this moment, they are expected to survive. The decedent in this case was a 25-year-old male, so we're still following up on that case. Lastly, at 12:30 a.m., 6th District officers responded to the 4500 block of Sheriff Road Northeast in reference to the report of a shooting. When officers arrived on the scene, they located an adult male suffering from multiple gunshot wounds. That adult male was transported to a local area hospital, where unfortunately he succumbed to his injuries and was pronounced deceased. In this case, the decedent was identified as 38-year-old Ricky Canty of Temple Hills, Maryland. Right now, all 3 cases are with our homicide branch are still being actively investigated. So there's a lot of information that we don't have at this moment, and that's because the scenes are fresh and detectives are still investigating it. Any questions?
Commander, where's the mayor and/or the chief? I mean, we're talking about 3 homicides in 3 hours, late Wednesday night. One person who was killed was a teenager.
Unfortunately, that's something I can't speak to. I believe that's a question that's best suited for the mayor and the chief. But unfortunately, that's not something that I can answer. I do not know the schedules, and it's not something I can kind of guess at.
Has the new crime center played a role in searching for the suspect?
Absolutely. The new crime center has not only played a role in searching for the suspects in these cases, but in additional homicide cases prior to and other cases. The fact that they're quickly able to review video footage, reach out to partners, and also review video footage and quickly get it disseminated, which we've kind of showed with how quickly we've been getting our press releases out in reference to a lot of our vehicles that have been suspect vehicles, and the quick locating of these vehicles with the help of the community as well as officers, I think it's played a vital role in it.
Do you have lookouts at all for any of the suspects right now?
At this moment, we do not.
No suspects. Do you have anybody in mind? You guys know who you're looking for?
No, we do. At this moment, we do not. Unfortunately, a lot of these cases require video review, so our detectives are still going through video and interviewing witnesses.
Can you tell us what you thought? I'm assuming you've seen video that's gone viral on social media of what just sounded like a war zone, like 30 seconds of shots last night, dozens of shots. What went through your head when you saw that? I mean, school wasn't in session at that time, but it happened near an elementary school. What do you think?
I think it's the same thing that prior chief was saying, this chief is saying. I think we've all been constant in it. There's just way too many guns out. People have access to these guns, and when they get in these arguments, when they get in these, I guess like you said, disagreements that normally would not be handled in this manner, the first thing people are going to a gun. So I think that shows that with the amount of rounds that you heard and how long went with it, there's just way too many guns out here in the streets in the hands of the wrong people. Right now we have no evidence that they're connected. All 3 are being investigated as independent homicides. They are not being connected at this moment.
Why this? You guys do step up in the calls in the areas, or are there plans to do that?
Oh yeah, we're going to be more focused and more targeted in the way we patrol. Of course, we're going to, allocate more resources throughout the district. But as of right now, I think we are planning to do that.
No, about 2 weeks ago on 10th and Spring, same block, there was another homicide. Neighbors were asking us, are these connected? Can you talk to me about that?
At this moment, no. We have no evidence to show that this is connected to that.
Is there anybody in custody for that one?
No.
So, we're hearing the community small and Northwest, and why of this, you just attending the community?
We will have representatives from the Metropolitan Police Department at that community meeting.
Could you expand what exactly and is doing to combat crime? You also some and many rest of the some of them some of those soldiers that they genuinely fear for their lives for to do like.
We have people addressing gun violence all the time. Our commanders, people who are dedicated to our resources, they're putting more effort out there. We have a lot of initiatives out there. As you've seen, our real-time crime centers up and running. We are throwing everything we can to make sure that this is not a norm.
Up until this point, all the data seems to show that crime comparably is down in several key violent crime areas this year. But what would your message be to residents who are concerned that there might be a summer spike?
We normally see a spike in the summer just because the kids are out of school, it's hot, everybody's out there. My message to the residents would be the same thing that I think we've said all the time, is that we got to get these guns off the street. And there's no way we can close these cases, keep people in custody without the help of the community. In all three cases, we know that there are witnesses, there are people with information, and what we encourage them. We have a $25,000 reward for anybody that gives information that leads to the arrest and conviction of somebody. We encourage them to call 202-727-9099, and if they want to remain anonymous, please tip us at 50411. But I think the message is consistent. We do know that there is a lot more people out in the summertime, with school being out and vacation and stuff like that. I think we all need to work together to kind of get this under wraps, even though crime is down according to the numbers.
We'll take one more question.
All right, but we talk about beefing up patrols and having people flat out throughout the district. We're getting information from MPD about 20 layoffs coming off at the end of April. How are you going to manage this? And fewer officers out on the streets. We're already talking about.
I can't speak to the layoffs because that's not an area of expertise for me, so I'm not really familiar with that. But what I can tell you is that we have officers that are very good at what they do. We will allocate more resources to these areas, and we will have people out there, and the public will see that. So I can speak to that from my experience, but I cannot speak to the layoffs.
Real quick about the issue of most classroom.
Yeah, can I just act in Spanish so I can get the not stuff and then in English?
Oh, yeah, go ahead. I was like, what are you saying?
Your first song is.
Okay.
¿Qué procede el departamento de la policía por estos planes para evitar más incidentes como estos, especialmente a medida que aumentan las temperaturas durante los próximos meses? What is the police department doing to prevent crimes like these, especially during the next months when the temperatures last go up?
We put people out there on patrol. We allocate more resources. We have a series of initiatives that have been very fruitful in getting guns off the street and getting people that need to be arrested. Our homicide division is going to continue to work, continue to find people and hold them accountable. So I think we are on the right path to try to get these crimes calmed down.
Can you tell us about those initiatives? You mentioned there are initiatives in place.
We have like a robbery suppression initiative and other initiatives similar to that, where we have people that volunteer their time to come in, work the overtime, and they come out there and they beat the streets. They give us more of a presence, and they have been very successful in getting guns off the street and stopping crimes in progress.
So those units involved in these 3 overnight incidents?
As far as what?
As far as being deployed to these shootings that happened overnight?
No, this was our normal patrol was in response to a lot of these shootings that come in from radio lots.
So with 3 shootings and the homicides in such a short period of time, what assurances can you give the public that seriously?
I can give the assurance that we are continuing to actively investigate all 3 of these cases. And like you said previously, the numbers reflect that crime is down. The numbers reflect that we're putting people in the right place and we're arresting the right people. So I do not want these 3 crimes to have people thinking otherwise, but the numbers do show that crime is down and we are doing what we need to do to get crimes down as far as the numbers wise.
Sure, right, but yeah, very appreciate it. Real quick, and you said the number of violent crimes are down, but are you seeing an increase or the number of casualties, right? The number of homicides, but are you seeing an increase in how bold these crimes are getting, like last night's shooting where there were like 100 bullets being fired within just a couple seconds?
I don't think we can measure the boldness of an individual. We can measure the crimes, and we can't measure the mindset of what an individual is doing when they go to commit these crimes. Some of these crimes are bold, but that's no different from what we've seen previously. From my experience, I cannot say that the mindset of a criminal is different now. than it was a year ago. I think what we do now is we measure the amount of crimes, the amount of homicides we have, but somebody's mindset and how bold they are is not something we measure.
Was there anything targeted between the 3 homicide investigations? You said they're all independent, but did any of them appear to be targeted shootings, or are they random?
At this moment in time, we believe at least one is targeted. However, we still have to review video footage and the other 2 to kind of specify and be able to say something with certainty.
Which one was targeted?
At this moment, I won't be able to tell you which one because it still remains under investigation, but we believe one was targeted.
Any other 2 were random?
No, I'm not saying the other 2 are random. I'm saying at this moment in time, we're still investigating circumstances around those homicides.
Thank you, Commander.
Thank you.